Hello and welcome back, Cozy Club. As always, it's a beautiful day for some DSA, and we've got a video that I have been waiting to release for quite a while. We're going to be talking about the best single raid team for the Forbidden Depths to help you and your club conquer the heroic raid and unlock those Ursula Shards and much coveted raid gear. Now, I've been wanting to release this video for quite a while, and you might be asking, why are we just now getting to it? Well, easy answer. First of all, I didn't want to get it out there just in case the devs and glue were going to nerf this. But with the Forbidden Depths and this specific team being out there for quite a while, going on months now, it's safe to unveil it and really help people understand how to get the best results for this team. So Cozy Club, in today's video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about this team. We're going to go over the basics of what characters you need, what abilities you're going to specifically need. We're going to go over exactly how to run the team within the phase. On this specific video, we're going to go through phase 1, the hardest phase within the raid, and then also tips and tricks and everything you need to know to get down to get your score better and better. Now, this team can get anywhere from 1 million all the way up to about 11 million damage within the Forbidden Depths. If you guys missed it, we tried to attempt to solo the entire raid. We fell a little bit short there on Twitch, but it was great having a community together on how to theory craft, what teams to put together, and really where each team best fits for which phases. So if you guys want to join us next time on Twitch, we stream every single week, multiple times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do things anywhere from DSA ranging to Kingdom Hearts. So come on, stop by. The link is down in the description. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into exactly what characters and basics that you need to know. Part about this team, Cozy Club, is a lot of free-to-play characters are within this team makeup, but also there's a lot of variations. Put down in the comments below what variation you like the most, or which one your club specifically uses and why. But for this video, we're going to stick to the following. We've got Hero Hamada, who's going to run the train, Bubbles, which is great for the control. You've got Honey Lemon to put out those slows. Baymax is going to serve his role. We'll get to that. And he's going to be the most replaceable. And he's also the most non-free to play. So that's the best option. And lastly, we've got the Beast, Santa's favorite reindeer by far. And it's going to be SVEN, dealing the big heavy damage. So with this team, Cozy Club, you've got your core team, which is going to be Hero Hamada, Bubbles, and SVEN. Now, there are a bunch of variations that you could throw in there, like Anna, Merlin, and Barley. We can maybe save those for another video. Again, we're going to talk about Baymax, but I love that there is variations with this team. There's multiple phases, and there's a cycle that you ultimately want to understand and practice to result in the best possible damage. Now, with the 3 that we talked about, Hero Hamada, you're going to want to get that micro barrier and that upgrade leveled up. You're going to want Conjuring Cauldron, one of the best spells in the game already for PvP, up to level 2, but for optimal best damage, you're going to want to get that to level 4. SVEN, you're going to want that basic reindeer dash about at that 50% damage dealt upgrade, level 4 for even more damage, and then Crunchy Carrot, his first ability, you're going to want to go ahead and try to get that to level 4. Mine was at level 2, and I did great damage myself. That's the best part. You don't have to have max out abilities, but the more you invest into this specific raid team, the more damage you're going to get. Now, outside of that, you're going to want Cobra Bubbles to have maximum stare down for the maximum reduction of turn meter. However, you can get away without that as well, and the rest of his abilities are going to be great. Now, do keep in mind, Cozy Club, the more tiered up these abilities are and the more tiered up your characters are, the better run you're going to have and the longer they're going to survive, and obviously the more damage you're going to pump out. So we went through the basics, SVEN, Bubbles, and Hero Hamada, and which ones to upgrade, and other than that, you're going to want Conjuring Cauldron and at least Peter Pan Shadow unlocked. Let's go ahead. Let's get to the footage from the solo raid stream, and let's really walk through the different phases of this team and the exact strategy that you want to follow. So here we are, Cozy Club. Right behind me, we've got phase 1. You're going to want to go ahead and copy the exact positioning I have. And if you want to plug in characters, just slot them where these other characters are for Baymax and Honey Lemon. Now, we've already talked about their roles, and we're going to get to the cycle of exactly what you want to do. But let's go ahead and start off with the first phase right when you get into the phase of the raid what do you want to do, and it's all about building up your spell. Now, you want to build up Conjuring Cauldron to really get this engine and this train running, and you can do so in two ways. Now, first of all, you can use Merlin to pump up that spell faster, but on this video, for all intents and purposes, we're going to focus on the other method, and that is going to be dealing damage and taking damage until Conjuring Cauldron is at that sweet 75% mark. So what does that mean? You're going to want to hold off on the Hero Hamada micro barriers. You're going to want to just deal some nice basic damage. Go ahead and build that up a little bit. Have Baymax soak up a lot of that upcoming damage and build up Conjuring Cauldron to about right here. Now, this is important. Once you've gotten to this special mark, you're going to want to pause what you're doing, and you're going to shift gears and go into the next phase, which is going to be the cycle. And the cycle is very important to learn exactly what you need to do altogether. And again, put down in the comments how you best love to run the cycle. Now, again, there's a lot of variation, a lot of different ways to do this. Again, I encourage you, put down in the comments below, what does your club do? What is your favorite way to run this team? But we're going to go through the optimal path after doing that offensive phase at the beginning, building up our Conjuring Cauldron. Now, you guys can see running behind me, we finally got Cauldron out on the field. I'd like to put it right close next to the screen so that we always upgrade the correct Cauldron, and it's just easier to click on overall. Now that we have the Cauldron placed where we want it, we're going to go ahead and explain exactly what is the strategy. What you're going to want to do is everybody's playing their part, and it's all about building up those crits and building up the buffs on SVEN to deliver as much damage as possible. Now, how are we going to do that effectively? Let's walk through the steps step by step. Now, first of all, we're going to start with Hero Hamada. Anytime it's Hero Hamada's turn and he has upgrade available, you're going to want to use that on the Conjuring Cauldron. We'll get to that in a second, but just remember, if you have upgrade, 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to use that on the Conjuring Cauldron. Now, if he doesn't have upgrade, you're going to want to use Micro Barrier once you've gotten past that offensive stage to go ahead, throw up the evades for your team, and also put on some extra shields. Now, a side note and something nice about Micro Barrier is once you're past 3 evades, you're going to be able to ignore that purge ability that Glut has, really stacking up evades and more buffs on SVEN and the rest of your team. Now, Baymax is here for the initial damage. There's some other slots that can go here. He's going to die pretty early, and he's always going to die first, so don't really worry all too much about Baymax other than putting his patient ability on SVEN. We've got Honey Lemon in the right corner. She's going to be there for the slows on her basic. You're going to want to do nothing but the basic attack on Honey Lemon. Continue to put on slow on Glut, and also you're not going to reduce too much turn meter because of how her basic attack works. The best part is you have Bubbles right here ready to give tactics to everybody, which is going to help all of them do their job a lot better. Looking at Cobra Bubbles, his main role in this whole thing is going to be controlling the battlefield. Guys, as you know, each and every ability you use towards the raid bosses, they're going to continue to build up speed and turn meter more and more. So Cobra Bubbles is going to use his stare down ability to remove that turn meter each and every time to go ahead and give your team and your SVEN more time to build up those buffs to deal more damage later in the attacking phase. Now, again, what we're doing right now is trying to get this cycle going and control the raid boss. Now, when Bubbles doesn't have stare down, you're going to go ahead and use his tickets on SVEN pretty much each and every time, building up those buffs, making sure that he has tactics, and every now and then you might give it to someone like Hero Hamada or himself to build up speed turn meter or cleanse when necessary. And then you've got the last piece of this kind of team. You've got SVEN. Mom always told you to eat your vegetables, and SVEN's going to be eating those carrots as consistent as possible. You're going to keep on using this carrot ability, and the reason why it's built just like this is because of how Conjuring Cauldron works. Now, we talked about it. Hero Hamada, he's always going to be using that upgrade on Cauldron, and that is for a specific reason. Let's go ahead and talk about why is he doing that. Well, first of all, Conjuring Cauldron is going to replenish those cooldowns and replenish magic on characters that have used abilities. Honey Lemon's always going to be using her basic. SVEN only has 2 abilities that are never going to go off cooldown, so that leaves Hero Hamada and Cobra Bubbles to keep on getting that Conjuring Cauldron, lowering those cooldowns more and more, increasing that upgrade and micro barrier on Hero Hamada, and then also giving you stare down for Cobra Bubbles. So Cozy Club, behind me, we're going to do exactly what we were talking about. We're going to go ahead and tick it over to SVEN. SVEN is going to keep eating those carrots. Hero Hamada is either going to micro barrier or upgrade Conjuring Cauldron, which is then going to reduce the cooldowns on either Cobra Bubbles or Hero Hamada. That's a little bit where the RNG comes into play. And then you're going to rinse and repeat with basic attacks over to Honey Lemon. You're going to keep on doing this cycle, controlling Glut's turn meter when staring down when needed to. And also, just a side note, don't be afraid if you've got the cooldown on Bubbles. Don't be afraid to use upgrade on Bubbles to do a fast stare down. You want to go ahead, keep track of those magic abilities, but also keep track of the turn meter in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, guys, you're always going to be losing the same characters with this build. You're going to lose Baymax first, followed by Honey Lemon, and then you're going to lose Hero Hamada. Now, once you've lost Hero Hamada, we're going to go all out into offense mode, dealing as much damage as possible with our roided up crazy reindeer SVEN, just dealing crazy damage back after back. You guys can see 100,000 damage back over back is happening, and that's more than Zerg, Hercules, some of the best characters in the game can do, sometimes in an entire run with some of the best teams built around them. And this is because it's all about dealing as little damage and as little abilities as possible till you have it built up. And that is why this team works out so great, is you're kind of doing this cycle while not touching Glut, keeping that turn meter down while building up SVEN, and then you're going to be unleashing hell as soon as possible. So Cozy Club, just one more time to make sure you guys understand exactly the cycle. Hero Hamada, he's going to upgrade that Cauldron or throw out Micro Barrier. You're going to have Honey Lemon only throwing out that basic attack, implying the slows on Glut. You're going to go and have Bubbles put stare down if Glut is over 40% turn meter, which you can see in that little yellow bar right next to his name. If not, you're going to ticket SVEN or cleanse any needed characters or give some turn meter to someone to get ahead of Glut. SVEN is going to keep on just eating those carrots and those vegetables, following that food pyramid each and every second. And then lastly, you're going to go ahead and have the Cauldron, and it's going to reduce the cooldowns to keep the cycle going. Once inevitably Glut has had enough turns and he has eaten through Honey Lemon, Baymax, and Hero Hamada, you're going to go ahead and go full out on the offense mode, dealing crazy damage over and over with SVEN. As you can see here, he's dealing hundreds of thousands of damage back to back because of how much you're passively building up your Super Saiyan team while Glut is sitting there losing turn meter over and over. Again, we've talked about it. This team doesn't just work in phase 1. It works well in phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and in phase 2, if you're able to have one eel left, you can pretty much finish the raid and get 11 million plus damage. It's absolutely insane. You're going to need a little bit of RNG on your side, but the concept, once you've gotten that practice down, is pretty easy to understand. Now, with just some last side notes, Cozy Club, you're going to want to go ahead and have Shadow with you. Multiple different strategies with Peter Pan Shadow. You can Shadow Cauldron to get more magic reduction. You can Shadow Honey Lemon to get extra additional turn meter slows out there to ensure that he's slowed down, just in case you lose Honey Lemon a little bit too early. Or you can go ahead and Shadow SVEN with all those crits and deal even more damage. It just depends where you line up in the raid and how much damage you want to pump out and kind of how the RNG has turned for you. Now, Cozy Club, hopefully you guys understand the strategy and the basics of this team. Again, put in the comments down below your own strategies, different characters that work, and allow other Cozy Club members to learn from your success or your failures. Now, whether you've already been doing this, hopefully this helps you do it a little bit better. And if you haven't, start leveling up your SVEN because he's absolutely insane for the raids. Now, we're going to keep on finding out better and better teams. I've got some very solid teams for phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. Let me know down in the comments below, and if we get over 400 likes on this video, we're going to go ahead and continue to do these raid videos, releasing more and more teams out to the wild. Now, for fun, go ahead and post your best damages in my Discord. We've got a new raid solo channel. I want to see the best damage that you guys can get out of this. hopefully this is going to help you earn those Ursula Shards and that raid gear a little bit more. And I know you guys have wanted more raid content, so we're going to get a lot more teams out to you guys. Now, altogether, we do need more characters with tactics. We need more characters with giving out evasion. And overall, just more leaderships, but that's going to be for a whole nother video. Again, Cozy Club, thank you so much for watching today's video. Let me know if you like the raid content. We've got a lot of videos coming out this week. And until next time, stay cozy. Okay, ticket to spin or ticket to bubbles. I'm using the bathroom. Go.